Hi guys, welcome to another card trick, and this one is probably the most requested type of effect from viewers to Totally Magic. It's called the ACAAN, any card at any number. First we're going to show you the effect, then reveal the secret at the end. You introduce a deck of cards, you say to a spectator, look, I want you in a moment to pick a card totally at random, and I also want a number from you from the pack. Now the most fairest way we can do this is to give you the cards. Okay, so let's remove the cards. We can give them a shuffle. It doesn't matter about the order of the cards because the spectator will be choosing their own card. So you shuffle the cards and you say to the spectator, what I want you to do is to take the cards and slowly and deliberately deal the cards face up here, and they will begin to deal the cards one at a time, face up. And at this point you say, well, hang on a minute, I want this to be a totally random choice. If you deal them face up, you're going to see the cards and it may influence your choice. Maybe you think, I know that you'll go for an ace, or if you're a lady, you'll go for a queen or a diamond. So let's do it totally blind. Turn them over, deal the cards slowly and deliberately, one at a time, face down, so you've got no idea what cards you're putting down. And just when you get a sense, a feel for one of the cards, just put it to one side. And they put it to one side. Now of course, you could, if I take these from you, you could have carried on. In fact, you could have even taken chunks of cards off as well, like this. It wouldn't have made any difference. You could have stopped anywhere at any card. Yeah, but any card as you went through. Yeah, but you're happy at that card there. What I'd like you to do is to take a peek at that card. They will look at the card that they stopped off freely. We'll actually give these cards a shuffle. Now I will ask you for any number between 1 and 52. This is an absolute free choice, there's no restrictions. Okay, so 1 to 52. 21. 21 is what you want out of these cards. Now, of course, you could have gone for any card here, but so I tell you what we'll do. We'll spread the cards. Now I'm going to count 21 cards, but I do want you to watch me closely. Make sure I don't count 2 as 1, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you think I pushed more than one card across, just let me know. There's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Will you agree that that is the 21st card in the pack? Of course, if you had picked a lower number like 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe a 50, a 52, 49, etc., you would have had any of these. You chose a card randomly, which I have no idea what it is, and for the first time, what was your card? The King of Diamonds. Turn over the card in the 21st position. And there is the King of Diamonds. And that's a great version of the ACAAN. So here is the secret to this classic trick among magicians. It's called the ACAAN, any card at any number. Some people might say it's more like a card at any number, but the effect is basically the same to the onlooker. Now to the spectator, this looks an absolute impossibility. They handle the cards, they take a card themselves, they choose any number, and they can even deal and get to that card all by themselves. To the magician, it's probably not that impressive because it uses a fake deck. But don't forget, we know that, but the audience don't. Let me just show you what I've got. In the pack, I have a total of 18 cards that are all the same. These ones are all the King of Diamonds. Now when I did this many years ago, I used to use just 10 identical cards, but I wanted to minimize the error margin, okay, and make it more casual in handling. So I've got 18 cards. The rest of the cards are just regular. And what I do is I put these on the bottom and I add 5 regular cards at the bottom. When you remove the cards, you don't need to show them. You could, if you want, show the top half of them. People know they're a deck of cards. You don't have to say here's a normal deck, because you're just planting that idea in their head that maybe they're not. So just remove the cards. Now I give them a shuffle. You don't have to, but I like to give them a shuffle because I need to get these into the reverse order. I need that block of kings, which is currently at the bottom, on the top. You could do a cut if you want. I like to do an overhand shuffle. What I do is I start to pull cards off in chunks. When I get near the centre, just before the kings, and this is all casual, doesn't have to be exact, I start to pull them off one at a time. Once I know I'm in among the kings, I can throw them in bigger chunks, and when I get near the end I pull them off individually, because these will be the 5 normal cards on top. If you don't want to do the shuffle, then have them set up like this to begin with. You then say to the spectator, take the cards and I want you to deal them slowly. There's an important reason why you tell them to do it slowly. Slowly and deliberately, turn them face up and deal them on there. Now they will begin to deal. Now you've got 5 cards here that they can deal. By the time they get to about the 3rd one, I stop and say, look, it may be better if you do it blind, because you might be influenced by a particular card and choose that one. I want this to be totally random. So turn them over and then get them to deal them slowly. Make sure they don't go like this, okay, because they get through the stack of kings too quickly. Say concentrate, fill each card and just drop it like this. Trust me, they will get bored, okay? Because if they went through the whole pack, you'll be there for half an hour. So by doing this, they get frustrated, and so they will stop as soon as possible. They can stop anywhere. When they stop here, you can even say to them, grab the cards from them. Once they've dealt the card, grab the pack from them. And you can even say, because we know that the kings are all 3 positions, say to them, did you mean to stop on that, or did you want this one or the one before? They can even change their mind and really push that, because that can enhance the effect. Let's say they keep that. Then what I want to do is to carry on dealing, to say, look, you could have dealt more. What I'm doing here is taking the kings off. Yeah, and join. I say you could have dealt any of these, and then I start to get, when I get near the middle, start to do these. I know that none of these are kings, so I can then inadvertently just flash and say, look, you could have carried on right through the pack until you got a feel for one of these. What you're doing is subconsciously showing the pack to be normal. Make it messy, square them up. Now we now know that the bottom half of the pack are all kings. So grab the cards, they will look at their card, which will always be the king. When you take it back, just push it anywhere in among the block of kings at the bottom, casually, don't make a big deal of it, just do that. We can now shuffle the cards to reverse them again to get the kings near the top. You could cut them if you prefer. I think an overhand shuffle makes it look more convincing than a cut. So I'm going to repeat what I did before. When I get near the middle, I'm going to start to deal one at a time, then do blocks, and then when I get near the end, slide them one at a time. So I know that the top few cards are regular. Then we have all of the kings. Now at this point, remember we had 18 kings. With the 5 on top, you're looking at about 22, 23 cards. Okay, so when they give you a number, if it's anywhere between no more than 23, then you're quite safe to leave the cards as they are, and that's a great effect. So they said 17, you do nothing and really sell on that. Now at this point, you could give them the cards to deal. Now on my performance I got a number of 21. Now because I wasn't sure of my accuracy in the shuffling, I know I could go down to 23, but because they said 21 I wanted to make sure. So all you do, and this is a great thing about this, the other ACAANs where you've got to do some sort of calculation and take 2, 3, 4 cards off, here it can be quite slapdash. You can just grab a few cards and just casually cut them, put them down, and if you do that, so if I took this, put it on there, so say for example they gave a higher number, let's say 30, they said 30. Well, I know that my cards only go down halfway, sort of 26, so I'm going to take just about a third of the pack. Doesn't have to be exact because you've got 18 cards to deal with of kings. So I just cut the pack, casually just put them to one side, and then I recap. That kills a bit of time, so they've forgotten what you've done there. You then say, look, you stopped any card. I couldn't control that. You took a card, I don't even know what it is. Tell me for the first time, what is the card? They say the King of Diamonds. You then say, you've chosen a number of 30. I couldn't have known that. I'm not going to touch the pack. You can either at this point get them to deal the cards, or as a variation you could spread the cards across and even get them to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It doesn't really matter, but when you get to 30, they pull that out. You don't have to be accurate here because you've got such a block spread of kings that it's a minimum margin of error on there. You remove the card, you can then just gather up the cards. Now we know that the top few cards, 2 or 3, are going to be regular, so you could say you could have chosen card 1, 2, 3, then turn the whole pack over because we know that these are all regular. You say you could have had 50, 48, 47, any of these. Don't go too far because there's your kings. Put that down casually, they turn this over, and there it is, the revelation there. A great trick.